What's going on YouTube? Timus here. Now, following the box office success of Barbie last year, the big film that Greta Gerwig is doing to follow up on Barbie is a Chronicles of Narnia film, which that sounds cool and everything, but the film is set for release on Netflix. Which, why would you like? The big question, man. Like, why would you follow up a $1 billion theatrical film to a film that will probably just go to on streaming or some days and all? Well, there's also been talks that Greg Gerwig is trying to exit this Barbie film because they're not going to fully give it a theatrical release. Well, there is now a report going around that the film might actually is looking to get a an Imax theatrical release. This comes from Empire's City. A few weeks ago, Matt Maloney reported that Greta Gerwig has been raising the issue of giving her Narnia movies a theatrical release with Netflix's newly opponent film head Dylan. However, Netflix wasn't budgeting and refusing Gerwig's request. Then you had a follow-up report via Empire City that Greg was trying to get out of her Netflix deal for Narnia. This might have to have do with Netflix refusal to give her a requested theatrical rollout. Now there's reports saying that courtesy of Belloni, and it looks like Netflix has taken Greta Gerwig's exit threats very seriously. An IMAX rollout in 2,000 plus theaters screens is now being discussed for the film. Interesting, Greta Gerwig is talking to IMAX about putting her Narnia movie on 2,000 screens, potentially before it hits Netflix. This would be huge if it happens. And this could also mean that this movie could pull a Knives Out and actually get a full-on theatrical release. Because I don't know about you, but there is a this theater here in New York City called Paris Cinema. It's a cool theater and all, which of course actually shows Netflix releases, but they don't have an IMAX release. Like they do not have an IMAX theater at all there. So this means this could easily get a full-on AMC release and all. Now, Daniel Craig and Ryan Johnson will also be again pushing hard for Knives Out 3 to hit theaters, especially if Gerwig gets her theatrical wishes granted by Netflix. I think this is great because I'm sorry, I really wish Netflix would go on and actually give their films full on theatrical release. Like I'm not saying release all their films to theaters. Like I'm not saying release like that Lacey Chabert film, the Frosty film, Hot Frosty. I'm not saying release that full on theatrical release. But I'm talking about movies like Narnia, Oscar bait movies like even The Piano Lesson coming out. I really hope Netflix continues to start doing this, but looks like they're not all fully interested because even Daniel Craig mentioned about was mentioning about where he was like talking to the head of Netflix and asking a full on theatrical like give his films a theatrical release, and you know the guy over at Netflix refused it, and then you know what Daniel Craig said? He said, "Well, your business model is stupid." I'm like, dang. But I mean, I'm hoping this actually does happen because I will also love to see the Electric State in theaters. That will be really cool to watch in IMAX and all. But who knows if it'll actually happen? I mean, the Narnia movies are like the first two are actually. The third one was could have been better, but yeah, I really enjoyed the Narnia films, and it's been a while since we last saw a Narnia film, which was back in like 2010. I'm like, if you guys don't want to give a Narnia film a theatrical release, then I say scrap the movie and just do a Narnia TV show. But hopefully this actually does happen, but we'll see. Anyway, let me let you guys. What are your thoughts on the reports that Greg Gerwig is trying to get Netflix to give this her Narnia film a wide release for IMAX? Would you love to see a Narnia film in theaters? Were you ever a fan of Narnia? Do you think there's a possibility that Netflix will actually grant Gerwig's wishes here? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Imax.